Hello students and learners. In this lecture, we are going to discuss about the chlorophyll and photosynthesis and chloroplast. In the previous lecture, that is lecture 4, we have discussed about the hydrilla experiment and also black pepper experiment. So in this, we are going to discuss about chlorophyll and photosynthesis. It means what is the main relation between the chlorophyll and photosynthesis that we are going to discuss in this lecture. Okay. The first is the Engenhousz. Engenhousz proposed that only green parts of the plant could carry over the photosynthesis. Okay, it's fine. But many questions raised in the scientist. So that is nothing but, so what are those questions? The first is the colored leaves. So if you see the new leaves, the young new leaves, they have the different colors. Some of them have the brown color, some of them have the red color and so on. So are brown color. So what about them? Are they going to perform photosynthesis or not? This is one question. Next is the color changing of new leaves. So new leaves after some time they change into green color. So what is that reason? Next is the colored animals. So example parrot, they have the green color. So it means is the parrot going to perform photosynthesis? Why? Because it has a green color. Okay, these all are the questions that were present in the brains of the scientist. Okay, so next, Pelletier and caventou in the year 1817, they have extracted the chlorophyll from the leaf. So we have discussed what is meant by chlorophyll, what is meant by chlorophyll, and what is meant by chloroplast. Okay, chloroplast and chlorophyll. So the chlorophyll is the pigment. Chlorophyll is the pigment while the chloroplast is the organelle. So this is only the difference between the chlorophyll and chloroplast. So it is going to perform photosynthesis while the chloroplast is going to hold all the main important structures of the it. Okay, we will discuss about it in detail about the chloroplast. And the scientists located the sites of the photosynthesis in the 20th century, and they found that the green colored substances were isolated after 4 decades of the Engenhousz propositions. It means they took 4 decades after the propositions of the Engenhousz. So what the Engenhousz has been said. Okay, that is about it. And next is the questions that we have is, where does the photosynthesis takes place? So we know that nowadays we know that the photosynthesis is going to take place in the thylakoid membrane. So what is meant by thylakoid membranes? So these are the flat sac like structures, they are known as thylakoid membranes. So these thylakoid membranes are placed one above the other, that is known as grana. Okay, so this photosynthesis is going to take place in the thylakoid membranes. The next question is, where is chlorophyll and other pigments are present? Obviously the chlorophyll and other pigments are present in the chloroplast. So what is meant by pigment? Pigment means color. Okay, chlorophyll is a pigment. Okay, carotenoids is a pigment. Okay, so in the carrot it contains some amount of pigments, color, that is responsible for the orange color. Okay, so these all are the pigments. So different pigments are there like xanthophylls, carotenoids, phycobilins and so on. These all are the pigments. They give color to the vegetables or color to the plants and leaves. Okay, this is the main important answer of it. Okay, next is that, try to name some parts where do you think the photosynthesis occur. So obviously the photosynthesis will occur wherever there is a chlorophyll. Okay, so for example, if the chlorophyll is present in the stem is also going to perform photosynthesis. If the chlorophyll is present on the leaf will perform photosynthesis. If the chlorophyll is present wherever the chlorophyll may be, there you can see the photosynthesis, whether it may be young leaves, whether it may be leaves or young stem or whatever it may be. Okay, the main important structure is the chlorophyll should be there. Okay, and next, do you think the new reddish leaves of the plants also carry out the photosynthesis? What could be the reason? Yes, all the leaves are going to perform photosynthesis, whether it may be young leaf or whether it may be the colored leaf. Okay, and so on. You might have seen in some pictures and so on, the trees, the leaves of the trees are yellow. Okay, the leaves of the trees are yellow or orange color. So what does it mean? Are they going to perform photosynthesis? Yes, they are going to perform photosynthesis. So the question is, why they are yellow and orange in color? The reason is the pigments. The pigments are more than the chlorophyll. As a result, those pigments are dominating the chlorophyll. Hence, the leaves are going to look in orange or yellow in color. But they have required amount of the chlorophyll. they have the required amount of the chlorophyll. As a result, they are going to perform the photosynthesis. There is no problem with the color of the leaves. Okay, so other pigments dominate the chlorophyll in some leaves, hence they appear in different colors. Whether it may be any color, they are going to perform photosynthesis. Why? Because they have the chlorophyll which is dominated by the other pigments. Okay. And next is the Julius von Sachs in the year 1883 proposed that the chlorophyll is not spread entirely. Previously, before 1883, the scientists thought that the chlorophyll which is there, the pigment, is spread entirely, but it is wrong. So the chlorophyll is not spread. Okay, the chlorophyll is not spread entirely, but the chlorophyll is present in the structures, specialized structures. They are known as thylakoid membranes. Okay. So especially they found that the chlorophyll is present in the chloroplast, and now recent we have based on the advanced studies we came to know that they are present in the thylakoid membranes. Okay, so around 40 to 100 chloroplasts are present in a cell. So let us see, the leaf is made up of 1000 cells. Okay, if the leaf is made up of 1000 cells, take out one cell. Okay, take out one cell. In the one cell, how many are there chloroplasts? 40 to 100. Okay, 40 to 100 are there. So let us consider each cell has the 100. Okay, total how many cells, how many chloroplasts are there? Okay, 100 chloroplasts in one cell into 1000. Okay, this is the answer. Okay, so the stromal guard cells and also ground tissue are also present. Means these chloroplasts are present in the stromal cells, guard cells, and so on. Okay, so next is Daniel I. Arnold, and the year 1954 isolated the chloroplast by breaking the cells gently to study the different steps of the photosynthesis. We know that photosynthesis is the complicated reaction involving the different steps. Okay, so he found that isolated chloroplast, they have studied the different steps of the chloroplast by isolating. Okay, and next is the structure of the leaf. If you see the leaf, okay, let us consider this is the leaf. Okay, so the leaf, if you cut here, how it will look? It looks in this way. Okay, this is a cut portion we are seeing over here. And the cuticle. So the upper one is the cuticle, and below that you can see the cells. Okay, the cells are present. Okay, so the cells are present. So beneath the cells there are columnar cells. Okay, column like cells, and along with it you can see xylem and phloem tissues. Okay, here will be the xylem and phloem. Okay, here this will be these are the vascular bundles, and beneath it you can see other cells. Okay, the loose spongy like tissues, that is nothing but spongy parenchyma, they are parenchyma. Okay, and also again the cuticle is present, and here you can see the spaces are small holes are present. These small holes are known as stomata. Okay, these stomata are mainly helpful in the exchanging of the gases. Here you can see the guard cells. Okay, the guard cells are present. The guard cells also contains contains chlorophyll or chloroplast, responsible for the photosynthesis. So what will happen? Okay, can you see the long main stem like structure as stalk like structure? It is known as a midrib. Okay, it is also called as a vein. Okay, so this is the vein which containing the xylem and phloem tissue. That is nothing but vascular bundles. Okay, and in the textbook you can see the clear diagram. And now we are going to move to the another structure that is known as chloroplast. So what is chloroplast? It is an organelle which is responsible for the photosynthesis. This chloroplast contains chlorophyll. It is a main pigment that is important for the photosynthesis. So you can see the chloroplast has three membranes. So the first outer membrane is one, that is the first membrane. You can see the second line, that is the second membrane, and the third membrane, it is the thylakoid membranes. Okay, so this is the third membrane. So these three are the membrane that is present in the chloroplast. Okay, so this chloroplast contains different structures. The first one is the stroma, grana, thylakoid membranes, and stroma thylakoids. So these are the main structures that you can see in the chloroplast. So now let us see how the stroma is. Can you see the yellow colored or white, pale white in color? So this structure, this fluid is known as the stroma. The stroma is mainly helpful in the enzymatic reactions. So what is that enzymatic reactions? So after the photosynthesis, you can see the glucose molecules. The glucose molecules are present. These glucose molecules are joined together. So these glucose molecules are joined together by an enzyme. Okay. So by an enzyme, these enzymes are doing their job, that is known as enzymatic reactions. So conversion of glucose molecules into starch, it is an enzymatic process. So such kind of enzymatic process will be done in the stroma. Okay. So next, production of the starch from the glucose, it is an example for the enzymatic reaction in the stroma. So next is thylakoid membranes. Can you see the sac-like structures over here? These sac-like structures are known as thylakoid membranes. So they look like sacs. So these sac-like structures known as thylakoid membranes, they are placed one above the other. Okay. So what do the thylakoid membrane contains? They contains main important pigment responsible for the trapping of the sunlight, that is nothing but chlorophyll. Okay. So when these thylakoid membranes are placed one above the other, how they are looking like? They are looking like coins placed one above the other. So when the thylakoid membranes are placed one above the other, that is known as grana. Okay. That is known as granum. Okay. So this is the main important thing. Okay. So next is the stroma thylakoids. So that stroma thylakoid means intermediate joining of the grana. Here you can see that the grana are joined by these structures. Okay, light yellow color structures. These joinings of the grana is known as stroma lamellae. Okay. So next is the magnesium ion is present in chlorophyll like iron and hemoglobin. So if you see here in the RBC, red blood cells of humans or any animal, it contains proteins like heme groups. Okay. So these are the heme groups. I am drawing the rough structure. So these heme groups, each heme group contains one iron. Okay, one Fe. It means iron atom. Okay. So this is present in the RBC. Each RBC contains number of heme groups or hemoglobin. So in the same way, the chloroplast also contains chlorophyll. Okay, the chloroplast also contains chlorophyll. They are responsible for the capturing of sunlight. But instead, it looks like similar to the hemoglobin. The main difference is the hemoglobin. The main difference in the chlorophyll and hemoglobin is magnesium. The hemoglobin contains iron atoms while the magnesium atoms are present in the chlorophyll. So here you can see there are two types, chlorophyll A and chlorophyll B. And in your textbook they have given the chlorophyll A and chlorophyll, but also other chlorophylls also present. The chlorophyll A is blue green in color while the chlorophyll is yellow green in color. So here the 250 to 400 pigment molecules are acting as a light harvesting complex. It means they are going to capture the sunlight in the each their thylakoid for the photosynthesis. So the next is what makes the chlorophyll appear completely different from the other cell organelles. So it is nothing but due to the presence of green color substance known as chlorophyll and their ability to capture the sunlight. So this is the main thing that you can see. So several events occur in the chloroplast during the photosynthesis. That is nothing but conversion of light energy into chemical energy. That is nothing but sunlight will be utilized in the formation of glucose molecules. Okay. So carbon dioxide, water, okay, plus sunlight is utilized for the formation of the glucose molecules. The energy is trapped in the glucose molecules, sunlight energy. Okay. And next to energy to chemical energy, next is the splitting of water molecules. The water molecules will be broken down into H plus ions and OH minus ions. So that is known as photolysis of the water. Remember, this photolysis of water is also known as Hill's reaction. So the reduction of carbohydrates to carbon dioxide to carbohydrate. This carbon which is there, it is utilized in the formation of the glucose molecules. So the carbons which is present in the glucose molecules are nothing but carbons of the carbon dioxide. Okay, light is required to initiate several events, while the several may be continued in the absence of it. That is known as dark reaction. So the event that is present in the light reaction is helping to form the important steps in the dark reaction also. The capture light helps in the events of the dark reaction also. Okay. So dark reaction means independent of light. Whether the light is there or the light is not there, it doesn't matter. It is occurring all the time whenever it is required. So light dependent events or the reactions are called light reactions that occur in the granum. Grana means, so in the grana, that is nothing but stacking of the thylakoid membrane, that is known as grana. The light dependent reaction occurs in the grana. Okay. So light independent reactions are reactions occurs in the dark reactions that is occurring in the stroma. In the stroma, light independent like reactions like conversion of glucose to starch and so on, that is occurring in the stroma. Okay, and I hope this lecture is helpful to you. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, subscribe to the channel so that you will get the notifications when the class is going to start. And like the video, share and also comment. So post your comments like doubts or questions in the comment box so that we could reply. And in the next lecture we are going to discuss about mechanism of the photosynthesis and also heterotropic nutrition. Okay, so we will see you in the next lecture.